Kiko Milano has come out with their Valentine's Day collection, and this time it's inspired by street art. It is actually called Street Heart. Very cute, and we have a lot of fun products in this collection. It's a collab with a street artist, and I picked up quite a few things, a little bit more than I was planning to. I went into the store, I swatched a bunch of things. These are the things I ended up picking. We're gonna try it out. Let's get into it. Alright, so I bought 5 things in this collection. In my buy or skip video that will be going up this weekend, I will talk a little bit more about the other products that I tried and swatched in store. So let's start out with the eyeshadow palette that we have in this collection. We have a one bigger eyeshadow palette, which is pretty fun, which I love to see. This is the Street Heart Color Tech Multi-Texture Eyeshadow Palette, and it's called Paint Your World. And all of these products have a super cute cardboard packaging, but also the packaging themselves of the products actually look really fun, really cute with the like graffiti heart on the front. Sometimes Kiko puts more effort into the box than into the actual packaging, but I think they did a good job here. And then the actual eyeshadow palette has 12 shades. They kind of went for a mix of colors and neutrals. It is called a multi-textured eyeshadow palette, and they say there are cream eyeshadows in here. I would say that these are just very creamy shimmers. I don't think they are actual creams. At least from touching them, swatching them, I feel like they are not actual creams. We have a row of 4 colorful shades, then 4 neutral mattes, then 4 shimmers. This actually swatched really nicely, and right away from looking at it, I could see that this is the Kiko Milano formula that I at least like. When they do this formula, usually I enjoy the palette, so I was like, okay, let's try it out. It is 30 euros, so that is pretty expensive. You do get 12 shades, but the pans of them are on the smaller side, so keep that in mind. All right, so I'm already wearing some eye primer. I've been thinking about the look I want to do, and I think I want to do something combining neutrals and colors. I want to go, I think, into the blue, put that more in the inner part of my crease, and then use some neutrals on the outer part, use a neutral shimmer on the lid. We don't have any colorful shimmers, which I would have loved to see in this formula. Like maybe a light blue would have been amazing, but now we're just gonna see what kind of colorful look we can do with this palette. Okay, let's apply the blue. This is a pretty powdery formula, a lot of kick up in the pan, but at the same time it's very creamy and blendable. I think this might actually be a pretty fun palette and pretty colorful for Kiko Milano. They also did that crazy 90s collection a little while ago where they also kind of like tried to do something a bit more fun and colorful. Didn't really love the look of those things. In the end, I didn't even review that collection. It all just looked very like meh and powdery. Like this is looking pretty good. It's pretty pigmented, it's blending out easily. I do feel like if this becomes your favorite eyeshadow palette, you're gonna go through it pretty quickly. But yeah, so far, I'm really liking this blue. It's a really nice color of blue, a little bit more on the periwinkle side. I think that is pretty fun. I'm gonna use a little bit of the shade Grape. This palette, by the way, has actual names. I don't feel like Kiko ever does that. We have Nave Hay and then Grape. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of Grape on the lower lash line. I don't know what I'm seeing. Actual shade names. Okay. And I'm gonna place it more towards the front. Now it's looking a little crazy, but I think in the end, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We're just experimenting a little bit. It's not looking good yet, I realize. Kind of looks like I've been punched. Okay, quickly, let's apply something more to the crease. We're gonna go with shade Clay and then shade Choco. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different look for me. I usually start out a little differently. This shade Clay is pretty nice. I do feel like recently Kiko Milano has been doing better eyeshadows in their regular line and in their limited edition. I feel like they upped the quality. Before they were really hit and miss. Like sometimes you would get something pretty cute and then the next time it would be terrible quality. These eyeshadows, they are just flying all over in the pan. Okay, Choco. This one seems really pigmented, really powdery and really pigmented. Let's see if we can build up the outer part here. That's looking pretty good. I feel like it's coming together. Trust the process. I am definitely, if you don't know me, I definitely am a lover of palettes that have a combination of neutrals and colorful shades. So this could definitely become a favorite if I like the formula. So far, I do like the formula. So far, it's working out well for me. But with Kiko Milano, I've already tried so many eyeshadow palettes. I can basically see from the pans, the way they look, it's gonna be the formula that I like. Okay, I'm liking this. I think this is gonna be cool. Okay, what are we gonna do with the shimmers? I think I want to go into shade Rust, this darker brown shimmer, and this one, it does feel really creamy and it's really shiny and impactful. Like this looks amazing. It looks amazing. Okay, I'm gonna apply it more towards the outer part. We're gonna see. I do think that this is a formula that's gonna last on my oily eyelids. That is a really nice brown. By the way, I almost forgot. I wanted to put a little bit of the dark brown on the lower lash line as well. So I'm gonna do that right away before I end the video and think, what did I do? Why did I forget? I'm also gonna use Radiate. Radiate. I'm gonna use Radiate a little bit as well on a finger. A little bit more towards the inner part. This one feels less creamy. Like, it's still glowy, but it feels less creamy in the pan. So I think that's what they mean with the different textures. That's really nice as well. One thing is for sure, I've never done an eye look that looked like this. And I do like it when palettes get me a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I can appreciate that. And now for the inner corner, I'm going to use the shade Twinkle. And I'm going to use that on a pencil brush. This one seems like a light gold champagne. Okay, this is not the brush. This is not working. I need a different brush. Okay, take 2. Yeah, that's working. That's definitely a lot more golden. Because it's so creamy, you kind of have to dig in a little bit, because otherwise it won't really stick to the brush. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of Choco as a shadow liner to finish up the look. I think I used quite a lot of shades. And down here, a little bit more precisely. Okay, that's gonna be the look. I think this turned out really nicely. It's really nice and blended, blown out. I like the combination of different shades. Yeah, I think this is a pretty nice palette so far. Okay, I put on some mascara. It is time to move on to the next product, which is gonna be the cheek duo that I bought. This is a Street Heart Lumicontour face palette, and I got the lightest shade. This is 01 Champagne and Hazelnut. Once again, really cute packaging. I really like the kind of like textured touch that these have. And then this is a cream cheek duo with a bronzer, which has quite a nice kind of like neutral shade and a cream highlighter. And I'm gonna start out with a cream bronzer. I think this looks really interesting. I like that they have done kind of like another take, a different take on their cheek duos that they have been doing for Valentine's Day collections. So I'm gonna start out with a little bit because I don't know how pigmented this is gonna be. And I'm just gonna start out on the cheeks. It's not super cool tone. I definitely see a little bit of warmth to it. This was super easy to blend out. And that looks really nice. It has really like a natural finish, not overly creamy or overly glowy. It dries down. That was really easy to do. I really like the look of that. Ooh, I'm really happy that I decided to try this because that looks really nice. I just did one dip and then it's just super easy to blend. Just blending this on my forehead. This is really nice. I really like this. So far, I am a fan of this collection. So far, I have really high hopes. This is such a nice color. I do have neutral to cool undertones. If that helps you with making your decision. This is looking really nice. There's just something about this cream formula where it's just not too liquidy, not too wet, not too pigmented, and it just blends out effortlessly and it's like malleable but still dries down. I really cannot express to you enough how much I'm liking this on my skin right now. Just look at that. It's so smooth. Alright, I did my brows. Next up, I bought one of the liquid blushes. And if you saw my yearly favorites, then you know that one of the Kiko Milano liquid blushes from their spring collection was actually in my yearly favorites. I really love that formula, and now we have more liquid blushes. And I also told you that I was gonna let you know if that same formula would come around again in another collection. So I have here the Street Heart Cheeky Flush Liquid Blush, and this is in 01 Pop Flamingo. So this is a really fun, bright pink shade of liquid blush. Seemed pretty pigmented in the swatch, so we're gonna see. I'm gonna start out with just a little bit, and we're gonna see how much I actually need, because really pigmented blushes have been all the rage. And I kind of get it, but also I kind of don't, because it's harder to apply. It's harder to work with if you can only apply one little dot. Okay, this is not the same formula as that blush from the Days in Bloom collection, because this is more of a blurring, almost mattifying formula. It looks absolutely stunning and it's really easy to use. One dot is enough though, but this is not the same formula. This is not as glowy and liquidy as that Days in Bloom one. It is definitely more pigmented and more matte. I definitely took too much on this side. I need another brush to save me. Always when I apply too much blush, I take a clean brush and kind of blend and sort of remove at the same time. If you keep blending with a brush that has pigment on it, you're just applying more pigment while you want to blend this out. So I always switch brushes when it's needed. This is a really nice blush, very pigmented, but we're also going to be applying some highlighters, and usually that tones it down a little bit. This is really beautiful. This is gonna be a little bit of an like out there look for sure, because I'm just trying everything all at once. But I really like it. I can definitely see myself wearing that also just with other looks, also just on the day-to-day. It dries down. It looks really nice and blurring, really nice and smooth. Okay, we're gonna try the highlighter now from the duo, from the Cream Cheek duo. And I'm gonna try it first with a brush. Why is it so hard to find a clean one? Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit and stamp that on. This highlight seems quite creamy. I don't know if I love it with the brush. I feel like it isn't looking super smooth. Okay, this is better. You really have to like work it in a little bit. Blend it in, otherwise it's kind of like weirdly laying on top. And now it's becoming kind of like this lit from within natural glow, which is actually quite nice. It's a kind of subtle highlighter, but I like it with the blush, because without it the blush is a little bit more like matte, and this just gives some extra dimension. There's not really shimmer in this. It's just a really nice and soft lit from within kind of highlighter. I do like it. It's beautiful. And it's also drying down. It's not sticky. And that is something that I do really appreciate. Okay, I have another highlighter. I was thinking that I was not going to buy this highlighter because I thought this was going to be the liquid highlighter formula that we've seen from Kiko Milano time and time again for the past few years. But then I swatched it, and it actually swatches more thin and more serumy than other liquid highlighters that we've seen from Kiko Milano in their limited edition. So this is the Street Heart Lumilight Liquid Highlighter, and I got here the shade 01 Cheers. Wait a minute, are they putting the shade names on the actual products? That is a big step up. That is like one of my issues with Kiko Milano. They never put the shade name on the product. So this one is called Cheers, and this one is a really kind of like light milky vanilla shade, and it doesn't really have any shimmer. It's really just like thin and serum like, and I'm really like interested to see what this formula is gonna be like. So we're just gonna apply a little bit, and I'm just gonna like blend this with the brush as well, and we're just gonna see. I think this is gonna be a pretty natural highlighter as well. Yeah, it's also more of that lip from within kind of product. It's not really lifting anything up. It's blending into the blush quite nicely, I'd say. I feel like it looks a little bit more glowy than this side. Like this is truly lit from within. This has a little bit more of a glow to it. By the way, there are also duos with a highlighter and a blush, but that is, I believe, the deepest blush and also the deepest highlighter. So I didn't buy a duo, I just bought the shades that I really wanted to try. I do feel like this might be lifting up the blush just the tiniest bit, but it's a little bit hard to see because it's such a matte blush and then with a liquidy highlight. So we gotta do another close-up. Like it's a bit hard to see. Like I don't really know if it's the highlight just lightening up that area or if it lifted up something a little bit. I feel like it might be better to blend the highlighter and blush in at the same time, like blend them in together at the same time. I think then it might look better. Like it's not looking bad and it's really like nitpicky, but I don't know if this is like the perfect combination, which is a little strange because it's together in a duo and it's also together in the collection. I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to see when I'm looking back at the footage. But if it's lifting it, it's just the tiniest bit. So okay, I'm gonna stop worrying about that. We have another product. The last product actually in this collection. I didn't think I was gonna pick this up either. I thought I was gonna do one of the slim lipsticks, but then I actually read the description of it and I thought that might be really interesting. I don't think they've done this formula before. So this is a Street Hard Vinyl Lock Lip Lacquer and I have shade 03. And the thing with this is that it's a liquid lipstick that can last up to 16 hours. I thought this was gonna be like the Gloss Supreme collection where it's just a really thick glossy lipstick that can feather a little bit if you're not careful. But this is actually a really thin formula that you have to like shake. It even has kind of like this ball in it that you hear when you shake it. And then it's so super liquidy. You have to let it dry and then it's gonna last for 16 hours. So I thought that was really interesting because if this works, I might be a fan. I could be a fan. I wanted to try something different this time. So I'm gonna take up the lip balm that I have on and I'm gonna shake this very well. And I'm gonna take this out of the packaging really carefully because when I was swatching it, like droplets of this formula just flew about. So like the doe foot is a little bit too big for the stopper. So yeah, that's something I don't like as much because now, even though I was pretty careful, some droplets were flying out. Okay, I'm gonna apply it. Oh, it kind of burns. Okay, I definitely need another dip, which is not ideal with how this stopper and this doe foot are working together. Okay, this was pretty difficult to do. I don't really know. I think I need to let it dry. This would definitely be easier with a lip liner. But it's looking quite uneven. I have pretty dry lips, but it definitely shows that. I feel like you really need to scrub your lips before you're able to use this. I'm gonna have a look at the website, what they say on how to use this. Okay, you should shake it well before using it. Apply to the lips, and that's it. Should I let it dry more? It's shiny. It feels a little sticky. Well, not really. It actually feels quite comfortable. It actually feels quite good. It's interesting. Should I do a kiss test? I think it's time for the kiss test. Okay, that is pretty much transfer proof and I still see the shine. Okay, I think there's probably hope for this lip product when I pair it with a lip liner and when I scrub my lips a little bit before. But it is feeling really good. Like, you can feel that it's a long wearing lip product, but it feels very comfortable. So yeah, definitely gonna give this a chance. Like, it doesn't look extremely bad, but I can just see that my lips are a little dry. I think if I apply a lip liner first and then can go like in one swipe to either side, then it will look really good. Because when I started like working on the edges a little bit too much, it wasn't looking the best. So I think that's the issue. I have hope for this product, but definitely it needs to go through some rounds of testing to be able to say if I really like it. If I end up liking the way this wears, I might even try another shade. Like, there was also a little bit more of a cool tone mauve shade. There's definitely hope for this product. Okay, I actually took out the lip product. I applied a lip liner. I applied the Luna Beauty lip liner in shade Stormy. And then I shook the product really, really well. And then I applied it basically in one swipe, in one coat. I feel like it's looking much better, much thinner, much more flattering right now on the lips. I just wanted to see if I could do it, and it's looking good. Like, it's looking much, much better. I'm actually enjoying this. I just don't think that it fits this look. I don't feel like I would really go out in this, but I have hope. Like, I like this color, and it being transfer proof, I think that's great. All right, let's go over these products. So far, I think that the eyeshadow palette is cute. The shimmers are not really like sparkly. They are more like glowy, while the inner corner is more on the like sparkly side. The ones on the lid are a little bit more of almost a satin glow. They don't really have texture, but they do look really beautiful on the eye. I like the way the mattes worked. I feel like they are quite pigmented, blendable. I like how the look came out. The duo with the bronzer and the highlighter I think is really beautiful. I love the way the bronzer looks on my skin. I love these highlighter as well. It's really beautiful. Like, it's subtle, but it still makes the cheeks look so good. The liquid blush I think is really beautiful. It's more of a matte blush, but it's a really nice color. It blended well. I can't wait to play around with it a little bit more. The liquid highlighter is cute, but it's not really blowing me away like some of these other products are blowing me away. Like, there's potential to this. I'm gonna try it out more, and that's gonna be the products that I try. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.